Today we're going to be learning about what are quadrantals or quadrantal angles. So a quadrantal angle is an angle that lies on the x or y axis. So if we have a graph, we have four main points where we find our quadrantals. So right here, right here, right here, and right here. Notice these lie on the x or y axis. This first is 0 degrees or 360 degrees. Then if we turn a little bit, we go to 90 degrees. Then we get to 180 degrees. And lastly, we have 270 degrees. So what we can do is think about what is the coordinate of this point. So for 0 degrees or 360 degrees, this point right here is the point 1, 0. 90 degrees, this is the point 0, 1. We just think what's the x and what's the y. 180 degrees is negative 1, 0. And lastly, 270 degrees is 0, negative 1. And now you might remember that if we have x, y, x is our cosine of theta, and y is our sine of theta. So sine is the x value. Oops. Sine is the y value. Cosine is the x value. And tangent is sine over cosine, which we could figure out is y over x. From this, we have all of the information that we need. So let's try to figure out the sine or cosine given some quadrantal angle. So we could do cosine of 180, but just to make it a little trickier, let's try cosine of negative 180. What that means is I'm spinning around the circle, but I'm moving clockwise now. So if I go clockwise, or negative 180, I end up here at this point right here. Here's negative 180 degrees. And this point, remember, if I look at my graph up top, is negative 1, 0. I need cosine. So at this point now, it doesn't matter that it was negative. It just matters I'm right here. That's all that matters. And what this is asking me for is what is the x value right here? Well, the x value right here is negative 1, which means that cosine of negative 180 is negative 1. Let's try one more example. So let's say we have cotangent of 90 degrees, and this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but not too bad. So 90 degrees we know is right here, and this is the point 0, 1. Now, tangent of 90 would be y over x, which would be 1 over 0. 1 over 0, we can't divide by 0, so this is actually undefined. But remember, we didn't ask for tangent, we asked for cotangent. So we can flip this. We take 1 over 0, and we flip it to get cotangent, we get 0 over 1, which is 0. So cotangent of 90 is 0. Now, all you really need to know is which points are where. So if this works for you, you can totally use it. There is one other way you can quickly remember quadrantals. So I'm going to show this to you. I actually didn't find this out until I think I was in college, and I thought it was super cool. So I want to share it with you guys. So this works for sine and cosine. So say you have a graph, write sine at the top. But what we're going to do is make the I look like a 1. And here, write cosine at the top. But make the O look like a 0. Now, opposite 1 goes negative 1, and zeros go here. For cosine, opposite 0 goes here, 1 goes here, negative 1 goes here. Now I can quickly tell you sine of 0 is 0. Sine of 90 is 1. Sine of 180 is 0. Sine of 270 is negative 1. So I can look really quick at these and tell you exactly what they are. This is just a quick little trick, but remember you can always just use what's the x value, what's the y value. That will give you the values of cosine and sine.